This is what's going to come down to when it comes to crime. This is what it's going to come down to. Atlanta proposes to spend $1.6 million on private police force for a wealthy suburb known as the Beverly Hills of the East, as Democratic star Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms admits she doesn't know how to stop crime wave after 7-year-old girl is shot dead. Wow. That, after admitting that, you should be, just put to sit down, and someone else that it's suitable to be the mayor should step up. The minute you say something like that, because that just shows you can't do your job. All right, comes after Kennedy Maxey, 7, was shot in the head by a stray bullet after Christmas shopping with her family on December 21st. The proposal has so far been backed by local law enforcement and members of Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms' administration. It seeks to develop a private security force using extra-duty law enforcement officers from local and state agencies. Atlanta saw 3 people fatally shot over the Christmas holiday weekend. Murders bring homicide count this year to 155, the highest since 1998. Atlanta City Council members have proposed a $1.6 million plan to create private police force in one of the wealthiest suburbs just days after a 7-year-old girl was fatally shot by a stray bullet. Kennedy Maxey died from her injuries on Saturday night, 5 days after she was shot in the back of the head while riding in a car with her aunt and mother in Buckhead, Georgia. The young girl had just finished Christmas shopping with her family at the Phipps Plaza Mall in the affluent Atlanta suburb, also known as the Beverly Hills of the East, when several men in a nearby parkland got into a fight that led to gunfire. Police have been examining surveillance footage from the scene in an attempt to identify a suspect, but no arrests have been made so far. Kennedy's death marked 155th homicide victim in Atlanta this year, the highest total since at least 1990, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. In response, a number of Atlanta City Council members on Monday announced that they were allocating $125,000 to fund the Buckhead Security Plan, which intends to establish private security force in the area to supplement the Atlanta Police Department, NBC reported. The proposal, which has also been backed by the police department, the Atlanta Police Foundation, members of the Fulton County Commission, and a member of the Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms administration, aims to increase public safety using law enforcement officers from local and state agencies. The plan is divided into 2 major categories. The first being deterrence and enforcement, which seeks to install more license plate readers and cameras to cover all major intersections in the neighborhood. It also calls for a coordinated security patrol, which could consist of extra duty officers from the APD, Fulton County Sheriff's Office, and the private security firms, according to the website. Under its second category, titled Policy and Procedural Change, the proposal calls for new approaches to ongoing issues and crackdowns on noise, street racing, and spot checking, overcrowding at problematic establishments. We are taking action to reserve the recent trends in crime, hold lawbreakers accountable, and restore citizen confidence that Buckhead is safe and secure, said Jim Durrett, president of the Buckhead Coalition and executive director of Buckhead Community Improvement District. The partners collaborating on this effort understand the urgency of the situation and are committed to responding in ways that meet the needs of this moment, but Buckhead on a solid footing for years to come. Councilmember J.P. Maxey, who was one of the 3 members to allocate his municipal plans to the plan, said the city must ramp up its efforts in effective policing. I don't think we're doing effective policing right now because I don't think we're getting enough resources and attention to it like we were with the police reform work that we're doing. We have to do both, he told Channel 2. Fellow member Howard Shook also criticized Mayor Bottoms' handling of the recent rise in crime. It's obvious that the civilian authorities do not control the streets and cannot provide even a token feeling of safety beyond our front doors, he said in a statement last week. To the administration, I don't want to hear the word uptick. Stop minimizing our concerns by telling us that the crime is up everywhere. Spare us from the lie that the steady outflow of our officers isn't as bad as it is. And please do not another throwaway press conference, utterly devoid of game-changing action steps he added. It comes as Mayor Bottoms went on the defensive over the holiday weekend, saying she was open to suggestions on stopping the crime wave after 3 people were fatally shot in the city. In a statement to news outlets, Bottoms said police have significant leads in the investigation and urged the public to provide information that will lead to the arrest of the careless and heartless people responsible for Kennedy's death. In response to Shook's comments, Bottoms said highlighting the rise in violence across the United States is not an abdication of responsibility, but an acknowledgement of the widespread severity of this issue. If there are solutions that we have not explored and enacted, I'm welcome to suggestions, as I'm always open to making the city that I'm raising my children in a safer place for us, she said. My thing is like, you've been mayor for so long and you don't know how to handle this situation with the crime rate. How about, police reform? And how about backing the cops when they're actually in the right? Like when they were right with Rayshard Brooks. Okay. How about telling Atlanta the truth about Rayshard Brooks? And how about just doing what you have to keep the community safe? Hire more cops. Train them better. Put money into policing all the hotspots within Atlanta. That's within your jurisdiction, not just Buckhead, not just the rich, affluent part. That makes sense. All right. You get the parts where you have the most crime under control. That way they don't seep over into affluent neighborhoods. And then taking all the money and just putting it to solely protect the rich is going to solve anything. Crime is just going to multiply in the other poor districts that you are responsible for. Hours before Kennedy succumbed to her wounds, a 16-year-old girl, Keisha Williams, was shot dead by a boy with whom she was staying at a downtown Atlanta hotel. Williams was shot at the Hyatt Regency Atlanta on Peachtree Street around 12:27 a.m. on the day after Christmas. Officers from Atlanta Police Department arrived at the scene in the downtown hotel district to find the teen suffering from an apparent gunshot wound to the groin area. She was not conscious or breathing and was rushed to the hospital, where she was later pronounced dead. A male suspect, also 16, was arrested in connection with the shooting and charged with felony murder, aggravated assault, reckless conduct, and possession of a pistol for a person under the age of 18. The 16-year-old is being held at the Metro Youth Detention Center and has not been identified by police due to his young age. My thing is this is how you are. What are you doing in office? To say something like that, like, I don't know how to handle a crime wave after a 7-year-old has been shot dead. What do you think was going to happen? What do you think you were going to be handling? I can already tell how she handled the Rayshard Brooks thing. She's not suitable to be the mayor. It's sad these cities that are, under Democratic rule, they're falling apart. Literally falling apart. Tell me what you think about this story. Do you think she's right to just have money solely to protect Buckhead and not the other parts of Atlanta? Tell me what you think in the comments. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Later.